The White Sox got a single hit. Quick, name your favorite one-hit wonder. Mine, the 2026 White Sox of today. It's the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Post-game show coming to you live from Studio West, our West Loop offices here in the downtown of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, my producer, Chloe. Do you have a mic today? She doesn't have a mic today. White Sox lose 2-0, and most importantly, they get one hit. And I was going to say one-hit wonders with a W, but Herb Lawrence, astutely points out it's the one-hit wonders, ONEDERS, because it's you don't get the W. You didn't get the win today, all right? You lose 2-0. But overall, this was a makeup from June 11th, and the White Sox technically won the series against the Atlanta Braves. So, woo! Let's go. Do I have a sound here for this one? That didn't really.
Yes, he did.
We can just go with "yeah, buddy" because people really love that from John Striffen. That's everyone's favorite saying from John. That's Steven's favorite from John Striffen. But yeah, hey, it's a loss. Let's go to the chat because everyone's acting normally. Tommaso, AO, Sox cooked. No. And then OJ's glove saying, Sean, please help me feel better about this loss. My stomach hurts. One hit by a team who traveled when all we had to do was cross the street. Honestly, I think the biggest thing that we could equate this to is, when your stomach typically hurts, maybe because you had a little bit too much alcohol the night before. And I would probably equate this to a hangover. They just played 3 very high, intense games and then had to wake up at like 10 a.m. and do it again. And I think the Braves were a little bit hungrier because they've lost to Minnesota. So they didn't just have like the fun time of playing a rival. They just lost to Minnesota. They kind of had a bit of an edge to prove. Grant Holmes did well. We'll talk about what Grant Holmes did today. But I think it's mostly White Sox dealing with a little bit of a hangover. And, these guys are mostly like 24, at least the hitters. So I think he probably just showed the lack of ability to deal with a hangover and get up with it. So that was my probably largest takeaway. Benny gets the only hit today. They walked a bit. It wasn't the worst time, and honestly, you could probably talk yourself into K having a better start than Holmes, but Holmes just got a little bit more luck. But that's how it goes sometimes. That's baseball, folks. Hit that thumbs up button. And Caleb in the chat saying, yeah, I really don't like Brazoban, but I'm not going to give up on him yet. I don't think we have a choice on whether to like Brazoban or not, but I think that's a good way to put it. I don't really like him. I don't really like Brazoban either. Let's get into it. It's game 126 against the Atlanta Braves. And I guess you could call me hungover because, they just played I'm sorry. I wrote down Newcomb opener versus Holmes, but they played Clay Holmes versus Grant Holmes. My bad. And I'd rather much play a Clay Holm than a Grant Holm because I don't know if a Grant Holm would stand up against wins. A Clay Holm, I mean, the Adobe people have shown that stands the test of time. All right, game 127 versus Atlanta. White Sox are entering today 66-60, and it is Anthony K versus Grant Holmes. Top one, great play by Colson to get Acuna charging. It was called safe at first, but the White Sox challenged the first play and get it overturned. Great job by Colson charging, getting a very fast runner at first. And then KK's Olsen. Great job by Anthony K today. We'll get into his full stat line, but he just really did well against this lineup. The only person that gave him trouble was Mauricio Dubon. So credit to Anthony K. He did his job. The White Sox just didn't score a single run. Bottom one, Sox go 1-2-3. We'll be saying that a lot. Top two, Anthony K gets a 1-2-3 inning of himself. Bottom two, Colson gets the Sox first base runner. It's a 2-out walk, but no damage is done. Top three, Dubon with a single, and then Austin Riley as their eighth hitter. I know Austin Riley's been struggling, but Austin Riley like 3 years ago, Man, that guy was like a silver slugger, monster third baseman, and he's your eighth hitter? We have like Tristan Peters as our eighth hitter. That's a nice eighth hitter. Riley with an RBI double, 1-0 Atlanta. Ground out moves Riley to third, and you have a little bit of, sweat dripping down your back because there's a runner on third with one out. Acuna gets a ground out, or Acuna grounds out 2K. He's able to look Olsen back to the bag. He gets the out at first, and then he's able to get out of the inning. It's another ground out to first base. Only one run scores in that inning when it felt like it could have been a lot more. Great job by Anthony K in the top of the third. Bottom three, Sox go 1, 2, 3. Top four, Thomas draws a 2-out walk, but K works around that. And then we jump to the top of the fifth. Dubon with another single. He moves to second on a Sam Antonacci error. He wasn't able to pick it up cleanly, and Dubon advanced to second base. But K avoids damage when the runner gets onto second base with no out. Great job by Anthony K. Bottom five, Braden with the liner. It's caught. Colson Cade. It was a frustrating at bat. Felt like he had a good shot to maybe give the Sox that first hit, and then Chase hits a fly out. It was hard hit, but not deep enough, not well hit enough, and it's no hits through 5 innings for the Sox. They were 0 for 17 on batted balls before the top of the fifth. 7 batted balls over 98 miles per hour. That is absolutely absurd bad luck for the Sox, just mostly at defenders. Weren't able to get enough loft on it. It happens. It wasn't as bad as the Yoshinobu Yamamoto one that Peters ends up breaking up. Like Yoshinobu Yamamoto worked the Sox that day. It didn't feel like Grant Holmes typically or technically like worked the Sox. 16 whiffs on 42 swings is nice, but he allowed 16 batted ball events at an average exit velocity of 95 miles per hour, 9 hard hits. I mean, like the Sox didn't have a terrible day batting. They just didn't move the line. They didn't come up clutch at all. It was frustrating, to say the least. Top 6, top 2, Albies with a single, and then a quick Thomas ground out. Great job by K again. Bottom 6, Romo with a 1-out walk. So great job by Romo as the 9th hitter, getting some traffic on. It's up to Sam Antonacci and Mooney to get him in, right? Right? Well, Romo advances to second on a wild pitch, so it's just up to Mooney, right? Mooney's got a guy on second. Come on, Mooney, just make contact. It's 2-0 count. And it's 2 middle sliders that Munetaka Murakami swings and misses on. I think this is the most important bat because that is the guy that needs to come through. He's closing in on 30 home runs. You don't necessarily need a homer in that situation. You just need the barrel to touch the ball. And he swings and misses on 2 very, 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 very hittable pitches. Frustrated by that because, I mean, if you hit a homer there, it's 2-1. Sox have the lead. I think that's probably the most frustrating at bat. I believe there's somebody who might be in the chat under a different name right now mentioning with the Sox having runners on first and second later on in the game. We'll talk about that. But I feel like having Romo on second double ties up the game there, or even a single. Romo might possibly score if it's in a certain situation. So I really think I'm mostly frustrated on those 2 swings by Mooney. He was K'd on a good slider. It was a nice bite by Holmes, but overall, first strike, could have pounded. Second strike, could have pounded. Top 7, Harris with a leadoff double. K's day is done. Brazoban comes in. Dubon with a hard flyout. Harris goes to third. Riley with an RBI single. Bounces off the mound. You needed a grounder there. You technically got it on the ground. It was just smoked. It's 2-0 Atlanta. And then Murphy with a single. 3 batted balls on 3 pitches for Brazoban. Everyone has the struggle and frustration with Brazoban that he's walking the yard. Didn't walk guys today. So, I mean, monkey paw, Oh, I hope Huascar Brazoban doesn't give up any runs. Well, he just gives up 3 batted balls at like 95 miles per hour. Woohoo. But then he K's Acuna, which was a nice pitch. Brazoban's day is done. Hagen comes in. And Hagen Smith. Watch out for Hagen. I really think come September, this kid's going to pitch high leverage innings for the White Sox. Come October, game 4, if the Sox make a game 4, game 1's likely started by Burke, 2 by Castillo, 3 by K. If everything shakes out, you have Grant Taylor throwing, 3 innings. You have Hagen Smith throwing 2. Nice little weapons they got there. But Hagen K's Baldwin, that inning is over. K's day is done. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 94 pitches for Anthony K, 14 called strikes, 16 whiffs, second most in his career. 18 was his most back on June 12th, 2026. 32% called strike percentage for K, averages 30% for a major league starter. So great job being above average there for Anthony. 17 batted balls, 6 hard hits, 3 less than Grant Holmes, who gave up 1 hit, and a 87.5 average exit velocity. So you look at the 2 starters, and while Holmes only gave up the 1 hit, I could probably make the argument that K actually had a better day. Really loved what you saw from Anthony K. He's been very consistent since May for the Sox, and what we had seen, at least today, is an increase in breaking balls. Sweeper was up 7% from 22% to 29%, and the slider was up from 6% to 10%. Seemed like he walked a little bit back his usage of the four-seam fastball, down 2%, and a little bit on that changeup as well, usually around 15%. He only used it 6% today. Not super effective, that changeup. 1 whiff on 4 swings, no called strikes, but the slider was not effective as well. 0 called strikes on 1 whiff, but the sweeper at least, 8 called strikes, 4 whiffs, 44% called strike plus whiff percentage, and a sinker, 3 called strikes, and somehow 5 whiffs on that pitch. They typically say, sinker isn't a swing and miss pitch, but for Anthony K today, it was. So great job by Anthony K. Another great outing, and he didn't get any offensive support. It's just frustrating. Jeff saying October won't last long playing like this. Yeah, I told you that. They were going to win 72 games this year. And no one if I was talking to people at spring training and like, hey, what's your expectations? We should play that again. Where I go around and be like, what do you think is going to happen this year? And there's a ton of meatballs. Love and respect. You guys are my meatballs. Meatballs are great. Who doesn't love meatball sub? But everyone, like half the people, say playoffs. And I try my best not to laugh because I did not think the White Sox had any chance of going to the playoffs. If the White Sox play playoff baseball this year, that is a win. They could get swept and have a run differential of negative 36 in those 3 games. I wouldn't care. A division championship for the 2026 Sox with likely a 40-win increase over the past 2 years, all that matters. And also mentioned, you needed pitching to help this team out because if the offense goes quiet, maybe they're able to keep it close and that 1 homer ties things up and changes the game for the Sox. But, when you're unable to keep it close, and it's still 2-0, Sox had the ability to come back in this game. It's not about the pitching here. And hey, I really can't blame the offense. They had like 11 lineouts today. This wasn't like yesterday where they're just grounding Clay Holmes' sinker into the ground left and right. Holmes allowed 7 ground balls to 8 fly balls, and I think they had 9 of the 20th hard hit balls today. So the Braves out hit them, I guess, by 2 hard hits. But Benny had the hardest ball hit today at 109.9. It was a ground out. Braden had one that was 105.9. It was a line out with an expected batting average of 750. You also had Benny with a ground out, 101.3, an expected batting average of 380. Mydroth with the fly out, expected batting average of 530, and that's 100.5. Vargas with a 99.7 mile per hour lineup with an expected batting average of 710. The Benny single that got through 99.3, an expected batting average of 900. Peters with a line out, 98.3, expected batting average of 320, and then Romo with another line out, an expected batting average of 320. Like, they did a decent job of putting well-hit balls in play today. They just didn't have that luck. And I think, hey, if we're looking at a playoff series, White Sox are up 2-1 over the Braves. This is just a weird game that it really felt like they were a little bit hungover after the Crosstown series. Bottom 7, Vargas with a leadoff walk, and then finally in the bottom of the 7th, Benny with an opposite field single. It's the first Sox hit. Grant Holmes' day is done. Fuentes comes in, and this was a very frustrating moment for Sox fans because you have runners on first and second, Vargas and Benny, and Fuentes comes in. But there's a reason that 21-year-old is in the major leagues. He was 20 and making his major league debut. He throws gas, and what you saw the White Sox players whiffing on was his slider. Guy has 100 in his pocket, and I don't think he threw many today. It was mostly just kind of playing mind games up there on the mound. He threw 8 sliders compared to 5 four-seam fastballs. The one fastball that got a swing was a swing and miss, and the slider was 3 for 4 on whiffs. It was domination. 9 called strikes on 14 pitches. and 9 called strike plus whiffs on 14 pitches. That's just absolute domination from Didier Fuentes. Braden Montgomery, Colson Montgomery, and Chase all go down on Ks. Just got to tip your cap. I mean, that guy could have been a starter in their rotation. This Braves team is a 70-win team, 75-53. It's not surprising that the White Sox kind of got blown by, premium pitching there. That guy's really good. Holmes, not so much, and I'm more just frustrated on the batted ball look, but Fuentes has it. Top 8, 1, 2, 3, 2 Ks for Hagen Smith. Smith, 1 1/3, no hits allowed, no walks, 3 Ks. 1.50 ERA. This kid's been fantastic. I know Tanner McDougal was the complete opposite. They barely wanted to put him in. They barely wanted him to, throw Tanner McDougal. It's been the complete opposite with Hagen Smith. They threw him in back-to-back days to start his career, and he's been a great reliever for them out of the pen. Bottom 8, Doyle's Cade, Grichuk flies out, and Antonacci strikes out. And then the bottom 9, Murakami grounds out to the first baseman, Vargas is Cade, and Benny is Cade. The White Sox lose 2-0. They are 65-61. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We'll be back right after this break. We want to let you know about our friends over at Xfinity. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep that reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi locked in at the same price for 5 years? That's Xfinity's 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. A Wi-Fi that has its own sixth sense and is super intelligent, that can let you stream the game even when the whole family's online, and you won't notice any problems. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part: there are no annual contracts, there are no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is included. Take it from me, a lot could change after a World Series. 2010, you're likely not going to the playoffs. Championships can be won, records can be broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, that should stay reliable, and the price should stay put. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Splash Sports. They're teaming up with us at ALLCITY to put together a Survivor contest, for the world. It's a $500,000 Survivor contest. Football is almost back, and you could win big money with Splash Sports and ALLCITY. If you don't know how Survivor contests work, throughout the entire NFL season, each and every single week, you will pick one team to win. And if that team wins, you advances. If the team loses, you're out, and you have to survive. You can't pick the same team twice. It's a very, very difficult needle to thread, but if you do thread it, it has a guaranteed payout of $500,000. Let me say that again, a guaranteed payout of $500,000. Sign up today and be ready for week 1. Just go to allchgo.com/survivor. I'm ready, and I can't wait for week 1 to start. So for your chance at $500,000, enter today at allchgo.com/survivor. That's allchgo.com/survivor. Sponsored by Splash Sport. Paid partnership. Skill-based contest, not sports betting. Open to U.S. residents. 18+. Void where prohibited. Entry fee $25. Rules at splashsports.com/allcity. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox post-game show. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already, and make sure you're subscribing to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. And we bring up allchgo.com as well because it's currently rank week over at allchgo.com. So if you do want to go check out the GOAT debate, head over to allchgo.com/GOAT, I believe it is, right? Or is that going to give you a discount code? That's going to give you a discount code, and that's going to take you everything to Will Gottlieb. I'm so sorry. I think it's allchgo.com/rank. Nope. Okay. I will figure that out. My bad. It's allchgo.com/GOAT debate. There we go. Way to go, Sean. But what we revealed today is the Chicago villains. Aaron Rodgers is number 1. Brett Favre is number 2. Isaiah Thomas is 3. LeBron James is 4. And 5, John Starks. I voted for Ed Fitzgerald, the legend from the Washington Senators who broke up Billy Pierce's no-hitter back in 1965, whatever that day was. I don't think it was 1959. My bad to our guy Billy Pierce. But the guy was, at least it was written by the Washington Post guy who wrote up that game, that Ed Fitzgerald would be as hated as Adolf Hitler, the tax collector, and I think it was Rasputin which I thought was a weird collection of people to combine with a baseball player. And Ed Fitzgerald had no right getting a hit off Billy Pierce that day. I think he had like one hit actually entering. The game was in like July. He was a pinch hitter, and his second hit was a double. And from what I remember, I think it's Nelly Fox on at shortstop. And if I'm wrong on that, my bad, because it's not Louis Aparicio, but I think it's Nelly. And he goes over, brings the ball to Billy Pierce, and he's like, "Oh man, that's a stinker," right? And he just says, "Give me the ball." Like, dead serious, not even like bemoaning the situation. It's just like, I think in that situation, you want to get off the mound. But over at allchgo.com/GOAT debate, we've revealed the greatest basketball player of all time, the greatest quarterback of all time, and the greatest athlete of all time, along with the biggest rivals of all time, or the greatest villains in all time. So if we're going to go White Sox specific, I think J-Ram, Byron Buxton, Mike Sweeney, Travis Hafner, and we'll go Ed Fitzgerald. And there's probably some older ones I'm missing as well, especially, some Brewers one. I don't think we're fans of Robin Yount and Paul Molitor, right? Because those guys would have been kicking our... Oh, Josh Naylor as well. I think those guys would have been kicking our butts. OJ's Glove asking, Josh Naylor isn't on that list. Well, as you could tell, basketball and football kind of dominate the list. So I would have put Rafi Torres on a Chicago villain list, but that's not it. All right, so let's get into the doomers in the chat. Tommaso, give me something positive, Sean. Lost 3 of 4. Feeling down. Just want this division so bad. Okay, well, let's look at the division. The White Sox are 66-61, and they have a 77.6% chance to win the division. The Tigers have a 9.7% chance to win the division. The Twins, 7.5%, and the Guardians, 5.3%. If you lose 3 of 4, it doesn't matter. It's really... 4-game sample in a 162 game series is 2.4% of their games, and then what? They lose on Monday by 2 runs, on Tuesday by 1 run, and then today by 2 runs, and they won yesterday by 3 runs. So they have a positive run differential, having a 1-3 record. Am I wrong on that? No, I am wrong on that. I don't know how to do math. They have a negative 2 run differential with a 1-3 record. Not that bad. It's not that the world is not falling here. I love math too, and I don't know how to do it. If you want to scroll up real quick, Chloe, our guy John also. I think John consistently brings up this stat, and I'm just going to try to end it here. Okay, the White Sox don't need homers to win, and if you're telling yourself that, you're just wrong. The White Sox have 600 runs scored in the American League. Let's check the list of teams that have scored 100 or 600 runs in the American League this year. The Chicago White Sox. Oh, it's just the Chicago White Sox. Silly me. They are one of the best teams in Major League Baseball when not hitting a home run. The Milwaukee Brewers have a win-loss percentage of 500 without hitting a home run. The Minnesota Twins, a 44% win percentage without hitting a homer. The Arizona Diamondbacks, a 40% win percentage. And the White Sox, 39.5%. It's not pretty, but typically when teams don't hit home runs, they lose. The Brewers, the best team in Major League Baseball, are the only team at 500 when they don't hit a homer. And they're not even above 500. They're 500, 27-27. CK Comedy saying Sox took a much-needed day off. Again, I felt like it was bad luck. I mean, they lost 2-0. They were in it until the 9th inning. They just didn't score any runs, and it felt like mostly batted ball luck. I mean, again, when you look at K's line, he gave up 17 batted balls of 87.5 miles per hour off the bat. When you look at what Grant Holmes did with his one hitter, it was 95 off the bat consistently. The White Sox were squaring balls up more consistently than the Braves were. The Braves got luckier. Some of them went into the gaps or the corners rather than the White Sox finding fielders. It happens, guys. The White Sox are 65-61, and they just lost to a team that has 75 wins, and they won this series still. Joe in the chat with the super chat, $5. Chalk today up to you. That's baseball. A lot of hang with 'ems. Hopefully the boys are not overlooking the Mets this weekend and can take 2 of 3. I agree. And, the one concern or quote-unquote concern I have with the upcoming Mets series is 2 lefties, or 1 lefty. I'm sorry. I'm not concerned. There's Manaea tomorrow, but you have Burke on the bump. On Saturday, you have Castillo on the bump, and then Christian Scott, who is a righty, strikes out a ton of guys, but isn't afraid to walk guys as well. And then on Sunday, it's going to be Nolan McLean, who's pretty decent, but then you'll have TBD on Sunday. It'll likely be Fetty with Urquidy following on Monday, but I don't know. I think this team does need a day off, CK Comedy, and they will get that, but they're also still at home. So hopefully not with 2 back-to-back day games, with 6 games at home. They go 4-2. You guys are going to be fine. You guys are going to absolutely take a deep breath. You'll go get a spa day, put cucumbers over your eyes. You'll be in a robe. You'll be eating what are those almonds? What are those nuts? Macadamia nuts, right? Or Marcona almonds. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking Marcona almonds. Look them up. They're very good. With little dark chocolate bits, right? And you'll be hearing the they'll be playing a gong. Dong. 66 and 61. What did I say? 65 and 61. See? Look at you guys. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Sinak. I wrote down 65 and 61. They're 66 and 61. I'm not even giving them a win. I mean, they're 5 games over 500. We're not worried. Yes, those are lovely. Don't knock them till you try them. But anyways, I don't think this is a spot to worry. If you're worrying, put the phone down. Honestly, just don't watch for a bit. Just wait until Friday. When they take on the Twins, those games will start to matter. I'm not saying that this game didn't matter against Atlanta or the Cubs games didn't matter either. They've been playing competitive baseball over the past couple weeks. I think you're seeing the drain of a 162 game season on this team, but nothing about this game has me hitting a panic button in any sense. And the one hit is mostly just like, at least you didn't get no hit for no reason. Like Grant Holmes didn't have one hitter stuff today. The White Sox, I just felt, got unlucky. OJ's Glove said, they're 5-0 in games I'm attending. I'm going tomorrow night. I got this. Don't worry. I'm also going. Okay? And it's Sean Burke for Sean Mania, and Sean will be there. And it's a certain day of mine. Don't say that. I'm glad you don't have a mic. I just got a good feeling tomorrow. The Sox are going to break the schneid, okay? It's Sean Day. They're not going to lose on Sean Day, okay, folks? And now I feel like I'm actually getting off a point and I'm just truly rambling. So we'll talk about what Joe's asking about because it's a fair question. Any chance you see Shane Smith or Drew Thorpe making a start within the week? We'll talk about that as we approach the TBDs in the White Sox rotation on Sunday and Monday, and if we will see a Shane Smith or a Drew Thorpe start coming up soon. We're going to take a break here on the CHGO White Sox postgame show, and we'll be right back. We want to let you know about our friends over at Game Time. Our friends over at Game Time are giving fans back the advantage with constant innovation. It's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's dead simple to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets on time at the best price with no surprises. And my favorite part, fees are included in the price you see. So what you see is what you pay, period. You go to the Game Time app, download the Game Time app, use code CHGO when you sign up, and you can look at the stadium seating at my favorite park, Rate Field. And if you see an $8 ticket up in the upper deck, it's $8 at checkout. If you see a $31 bleacher seat, it's $31 all in. Go check out on all the great deals over on the Game Time app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time, MLB tickets specifically. Download Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. It's the best way to see MLB games. Download the Game Time app today. And we want to let you know about our friends over at Ray Chevrolet. Summer's winding down, and it's time to save big at Ray Chevrolet during the model year-end sales event. Get 0% financing for 60 months on brand new Chevrolet models, or check out their selection of over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories, you'll be sure to find the perfect vehicle for you. And as one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, they're able to keep their prices competitive, so you'll know you'll get a great deal deal. And you'll know you'll get a great deal because of Ray's Price Promise. You can shop confidently because the price you see is the price you pay. The price you see online is the price you pay. The price you see in the lot is the price you pay. Go see for yourself. Visit our partner at their convenient location on their Route 12 location in Fox Lake. And don't let these savings pass you by. Shop the model year end sales event all month long for 0% financing for 60 months on brand new Chevrolet models. Shop Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. Welcome back to the CHGO White Sox postgame show. Hot in the chat. Shout out to you. Done jinxed it now. Way to go, folks. Jinxes are not real unless you believe in them. And I am just a confident person looking at the stars. There's a certain cycle, I believe, that happens every 29 years where you kind of get a reset. Tomorrow's a very important day when all the stars align. Both starting pitchers are named Sean. I'm going to be there. A certain day of mine. Okay. I just got a feeling. All right. And if they lose, I'll paint my face like a clown. Honestly. Like I'm not worried about no jinx. Okay. I'm not. I really feel good about tomorrow. TA Storm Chasing saying, should have won today, damn. I agree. And Joe Henschel with the super chat. Thank you, Joe. Could have lost the game like the Reds did today. LOL. Yeah, thank God. I mean, the White Sox haven't done anything like that. Dane Myers going into the left center field gap. They're not really communicating the left fielder and him. I'm not sure who the left fielder was. I've just seen the highlight. And Dane Myers puts a glove on it, doesn't catch it, and falls, and they lose that game. Absolutely brutal way to lose a baseball game. I guess they didn't lose in that specific moment because then they had a chance in the bottom of the ninth to possibly tie it up. But brutal for Dane Myers out there in center field. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention was our friend Anthony K. He had a great game today. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. Again, second most whiffs on his in his career with 16, and he was wearing some special shoes today. So he won't be pitching during Players Weekend tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So he wore his custom cleats early, and this is from Brooke Fletcher. These spikes were colored and designed by kids from Lurie's Children's Hospital who visit Wright Field often, and I know Anthony K does a ton for, I think, pediatric cancer. And then there's some info on that from a lot of what Anthony does from his brother Bobby K. So I believe pediatric cancer is a thing that's very close to Anthony K. So great job by Anthony K to wear these cleats, right? Bring a tear to your eye. And then he goes out with the special cleats and does that. It just sucks they couldn't get a win for Anthony because he pitched great today. So great job by Anthony K there. Caleb saying, I better see Sean in a clown mask whenever the next postgame show is if they lose. Do you want to see it, though? Because the whole point is they will lose for me to be in a clown. I'll put clown makeup on whenever. All right. I mean, we don't have to I'm just more trying to say they're there. Genshi saying extra batting practice. I don't think batting practice is going to help them. I think they're fine. Again, they have 600 runs. It's kind of a pretty cool thing. I'm not worried. If you want to scroll up just a little bit, I think there was another one as well. Talking about Hagen. So let's just jump into Hagen because people are now starting to like Hagen. Hagen has done very well in his time up here with the Sox and questioning, will he be a starter? It's the same thing as Grant Taylor, and it's similar issues as well. Grant Taylor looks great in an inning because he's consistently hitting, and now he's only hitting 98, but he was hitting 100. He was hitting 99. Now he's sitting about 98. The issue is just the degrading of stuff over time. And Grant and Hagen haven't really shown that their stuff lives up into the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. So if you already have frustration on guys like Noah Schultz not getting to the 5th inning or beyond, it would likely be Hagen will give you a similar frustration. Grant will give you a similar frustration. These two guys specifically need to have off seasons of their lives. Garrett Crochet didn't look like a starter at any point before that offseason. Garrett Crochet, I want to say Grant Taylor. Garrett Crochet came back looking like the Cyclops from the Odyssey. That man was freshly bald, shiny as hell, and looking like he probably ate an entire barrel's worth of protein mix. This guy looked not juiced, but just filled out. And it looked like his body was ready to take on an entire season. And it wasn't immediately 200 innings, but the year after they trade him, it's 200 innings for Garrett Crochet. I know he's currently dealing with an injury, and that's something that you'll deal with when you are a top-of-the-line pitcher. You're going to put yourself at risk, but I don't really see that type of stature from Hagen Smith right now. Even though he's 6'3", he seems a little short on the mound. And Grant Taylor seemingly is built and filled out, but I think it's really tough for his specific delivery to last over multiple innings. And he's done a great job of doing like 2+ innings. I won't write him off on that. So maybe I'm getting a little bit closer to Grant there than I am Hagen. But it does feel like if Grant promotes himself and does a great job this offseason to get himself into a starter position, it feels like Hagen might just take Grant's role. And then, hey, maybe another year from now, we're doing the same thing with Hagen Smith. And I know some people are talking about then Noah Schultz. Well, should you see Noah Schultz in the bullpen? You got to think about just like the types of pitchers, right? Didier Fuentes, who came in the 7th inning, 3 strikeouts, right? That guy, massive fastball. And he's going to get swings and misses on that thing no matter what. And now that he's got this slider and he's able to work that in, dominant pitcher, that could be a starter all day, right? Noah doesn't have a big swing and miss pitch, where Hagen, he's a 2-pitch pitcher pretty much. I mean, he sprinkles in a cutter, but he's mostly four-seam fastball and slider. And what makes him work, what makes him dominant, is velo. And right now, he's hitting 95 in the first inning, and then he's hitting like 93, 92 in the second inning. He's not seeing that continuation of velo. If he's able to keep that at 95 into the 5th inning, cooking with gas, right? And that's why they took him 5th overall. With Noah, though, it's not even about a velo thing. The stuff just doesn't move a ton. It's a very flat arm. It's a very weird package he's coming in from, because Hagen's got a flat arm. Noah's a little bit higher than he is, but it's still flat-ish compared to Major League Baseball. It's not over the top, right? It's more sidearm than anything. But Noah is very tight when he's on the mound. He's very bunched together, trying to keep all 6'10" of himself together, and he's really just trying to deliver a strike in the zone. He's not looking to induce whiffs. His stuff really doesn't induce whiffs. So that's not a guy that would be bullpen material. But when Taylor and Hagen come out and they're striking, 3 every inning, it's tough to not really think, like, is this the guy's future? Because now after today, it's 6 innings pitched for Hagen Smith, 1 hit allowed. That 1 hit is obviously the home run allowed to Pete Crow Armstrong, where he's put in a really bizarre situation. You kind of just want to write that off his ledger entirely. It's 6 walks and it's 10 strikeouts, and it's an ERA of 150. It's something that's definitely tantalizing as a starter, but I'm not sure if the stuff would actually play out over time. Where, like a Tanner McDougal, Tanner's hitting 100 consistently. You can't find the zone. But if he's able to find the zone, I think that is a guy that maybe might be a little bit more of a starter, because he's 6'5". I mean, he's 265. He's very, 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 very built. It's just, that Hagen doesn't give you ideal starter look. If he was a little bit bigger, I'd feel that way. Grant, with his delivery, doesn't really give you premium starter, although he has premium stuff, where Noah and Tanner are those packages that you look for, like big horses to really deliver the ball. And that's why I think keeping Schultz as a starter is important. And then, even with Tanner's struggles as a reliever, it's kind of like, are you going to use him in the pen this year? And if not, go try to figure out, how to make him a starter. Tommaso saying, I was told Noah was the next Randy Johnson. Well, yeah, I probably said that, and I was probably wrong. When you're dealing with high schoolers and you're dealing with low A pitching, it's easier to rack up 11 strikeouts. And the big thing that on Noah was touted was his slider and sweeper, and that at the major league level is not played at all. So if Noah's able to figure out that slider sweeper, maybe he'll become that type of pitcher. But I mean, obviously he's only 22 and needs to develop a little bit more. Bupa saying Taylor should open more, give him one more time to the order. I'm not against it. Bupa also saying body type doesn't really matter for pitchers like we think. I'm just more thinking like Carlos Rodon's built and svelte. Look at Tariq Skubal. Like, mostly people are like seeing Skubal like in a ill-fitting shirt and they're like, wow, Skubal got really fat. Like, starting pitchers need some, mass equals gas. You need some like bigness to you to actually endure 7 innings. I don't see that from Hagen. I don't really see that from Grant Taylor. Maybe a little bit now from Grant as he's now in his second season. So maybe I'm wrong about Grant. But I mean, Boopa brings up Sale and Miz. Well, first of all, Miz is massive. And Tugboat is also, that's mass right there. Sale doesn't really have that, but Sale's also dealt with injuries. So I agree that it's not everything. And Sale, I think, has lasted a much longer than people have, and he's getting better with age. But he's also had a lot of injuries to deal with to get to this point. I mean, there was a moment where, they trade Chris Sale out of Boston for Vaughn Grissom, mainly so Atlanta eats the money. So it's not the end-all, be-all, but also Chris Sale was like untouchable out of the bullpen. And it was a little bit more of a different just environment where guys were being thrown more and kind of at risk of injury. And I think a lot of this is trying to protect Hagen and Grant from injury, although it's likely inevitable. It's not the end-all, be-all body type, but I'm just saying I don't think that Grant and Hagen stuff particularly will do well over, pitching a third inning, a fourth inning, a fifth inning in a game. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's something for the future, and we'll have to look our eyes out on. All right. Before we wrap up, White Sox are 66-61 on the year, 77.6% chance to win the division. They have a 3.5 game lead over the Twins. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Guardians. They have a 5 game lead over the Tigers and a 12.5 game lead over the Royals. So if you are panicking or worrying, I don't think you should. I think it's just time to take a step back, maybe a deep breath. This team is still cruising for the most part. And while the Rangers are a little bit difficult, they already did take 2 of 1 against them down in Arlington. And I think that they have waned off a little bit here as the season goes on. The Tiger specifically, you will see DeGrom, but you have seen Rocker and Gore before as well. And they felt really positive about seeing DeGrom the second time through. So maybe they're able to get through to DeGrom come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a little bit nervous about Sean Manaea. Manaea hasn't been great like he was last year. He did a lot of body work and work to get himself like really back to shape the year prior, and then it's kind of fallen off since 2024. I think he's dealt with injuries. But Manaea, a guy that is definitely hittable. As long as the Sox are able to just kind of force him in the zone, they should be able to put some decent balls in play on Friday. Christian Scott, is pretty damn good. I forget the exact trade that they acquired him in, but he's been phenomenal. He was drafted by them. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I thought he was acquired in a trade. But he was picked out of the 5th round. But he's a righty with some pretty big stuff, not against walking guys, but it's like 11.2 strikeout per 9 for Christian Scott in 2026. A little nervous on that one just because he does have the ability to strike out like 6 per outing. It's mostly about the White Sox sticking to what they can do and hitting fly balls. He's prone to giving up fly balls. Last couple of outings, 9, 10, 7, and 13. So if the White Sox can elevate against Scott, they should be able to do decently. And then on Sunday, it's McLean. That's going to be a tough pitcher. I think he's got like 6 pitches. So they should be able to, maybe battle, and hopefully they're getting McLean out by the 5th. And even if they're not able to score a run necessarily, like against a Gavin Williams or something, they're able to get him out early and get to that Mets bullpen. We'll see old friend Luis Robert Jr. on the south side. I expect him to get booed to hell. Tommaso saying Doyle, I imagine, plays tomorrow. His swing is ugly. Yeah, but Sean Manaea is bad. So if you are feeling a little bit worried about Brenton Doyle, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he goes deep against Sean Manaea tomorrow, because Manaea isn't the best lefty. But yeah, he's been pretty bad to watch at the plate, and that's why I kind of really wasn't thrilled about the acquisition. If you are going to be spending limited amounts of prospect capital, and that trade deadline didn't hurt in retrospective, and according to what the pieces gave up, the only piece that kind of hurt was the Everson Pereira thing. I think I've made that abundantly clear. Pereira probably still has a spot on this roster. He's likely still the center fielder. They're the right-handed center fielder. He's likely going up against Manaea tomorrow. And could you have taken a Mason Adams and, the Carlos Vielma and packaged that for a starter of some sorts just to give you a little bit more up front? Because you are looking at this Fetty turn and you are looking at this Urquidy turn and you're questioning, can they do this again? Can they continue to give you quality outings? Scott Merkin did put out a tweet that he said he wouldn't be against or surprised by Drew Thorpe, Shane Smith, Jonathan Cannon, I forget the other name, but contributing down to the team in the back half. I would be surprised by Cannon, but once the rosters open up, Sandlin was the other one. Once the rosters open up, I likely think in September, Sandlin will be the pitcher that they add. Maybe possibly Nishida as the hitter they add. But I'm not sure about Shane Smith. I think Drew Thorpe might get a shot if he looks good again his next time out. Really good night from him yesterday. I think it was 5 innings pitched, 6 Ks, 15 whiffs, 11 on his changeup, sat about like 91.4 on average on his four-seam fastball in the first inning and only dipped to about like 90.8 in the fifth. So decent job of at least keeping his velocity. And that's, again, like part of the worry that I have with like a Hagen or, a Grant Taylor. Maybe that's something they need to pitch through and learn their body. But, when Thorpe's velo drops down, he becomes a very, very average pitcher and very, very hittable. But when that fastball is at 94 and has the induced vertical break that it has, it can induce swings and misses. And then that changeup is a true 80 grade pitch. So I wouldn't be surprised with Thorpe making his debut, but I think it's probably come September. I don't know if they're going to look for him maybe come the Minnesota series, but I think at least this homestand, they're not making any moves. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Thank you, Tommaso, OJ's Glove, Genshi. These are at least the commenters that are here. Jeff also in the chat. And then who did the super chats again? It's not Jeff. It was Joe. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it for the super chats, Joe, as well. Joe, Jeff, you can see how I combine them. Thank you to Chloe. Your name's not Jeff or Joe. Thank you to Chloe for producing the show. We will be back next week. I believe the next show will be on Monday. So we will see you then on Monday. I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, so I will see you on Monday. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.